request is kindly attend this webinar till end, because we'll be also having our few slides of our presentation in the evening to give you complete understanding about what this model is all about, what is the payout structure, and what is the success ladder in this, wherein you can take the growth also. But before that, we will also give you understanding about what franchising is looking like next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, and how big this industry is all about. And we will also talk about today what Franchise India journey has been, because we are there in this business last 27 years. And Franchise India is proudly today saying that no one in the world is selling more business as Franchise India do. So we have today network in 97 cities in India, and we are also in 20 countries already. And we are also looking forward for some passionate people who are joining us as our business partners to do the business what we are doing for last 27 years. So as we are successful in this business last 27 years, we also want new partners, passionate people to start this practice, but who is actually from the same mindset and same background. So we will talk about the model of IFC, Independent Franchise Consultant model, in length and detail. And we also are going to discuss about Franchise India current structure, what we have. As I said, we have 97 cities network, which we have built over last 4 to 5 years. But we are not, absolutely not in the rush, that we are looking forward for thousands of people to join us. Though the opportunity, which is franchise opportunity, because consumption is growing and franchise business is growing. So we also are looking forward to now increase the network, expand in different locations, regions. We have some locations already gone. Now we don't have any other opportunity in some locations, but there are few locations wherein we are looking forward to start the local partner to be there with us. But there has to be some understanding, because we do not sell this opportunity. We are selecting this opportunity. That we will give you complete understanding in depth today. What Franchise India has done till now, 27 years, what is our journey, and also what is this model, that we will set a complete perspective on this. But there is a Q&A box, which we will request you that you all, during this webinar, because we have to make it interactive, it has to be two-way. So use this Q&A box and share your thoughts, share your questions and queries, which we'll be taking further. Today in this webinar, if you'll see, there is a team on the panel. I'll give you a little introduction and why we are all there on the panel. So it's a very, very serious opportunity and business for us, because when we are successful in this business last 27 years, our role and responsibility becomes even though critical when we are talking about any new partner to join us. And our mission and vision is to make him or her 100% successful. So today, I'll give you a little more introduction on panelists. We have a team across nation, and then we also have management team. My name is Sanjay. I am CEO Director of Franchise India Consultants Private Limited, which is a subsidiary company of Franchise India Group, and wherein we have all our IFC partners registered with us in this company. So we have, from the team side, we have our senior leader, Shakti Vel, with us. He is working with us in Chennai market, which is Tamil Nadu and Kerala. Also, he takes care, along with Kapil from the same market. So it's a team which we have, and we are running a branch over there. We have a huge team there. But Kapil and Shakti Vel make sure that they work with all the IFC partners, our business partners, hand in hand, and make them grow. We also have Sanket joined us from Ahmedabad branch. He is taking care of all Gujarat market, wherein we have our partners, and he is working with all of them to make them successful. We have Ravi Kumar joined us from Hyderabad, so he takes care of AP Telangana location. We have Shweta joined us from Mumbai, and Bimal, he has joined us from east side of the business, which is our Kolkata office. We have company-owned office in Kolkata, so he takes care of East network. We have Rashmi also joined us. She has joined us from Dubai, because this is live program today in many, many countries. So she has joined us from Dubai office. And we also have Parsuman. He has also joined us from, I can't see him there, but he is there from our Bangalore office. We are happy and glad that we are also having management team today, Mr. Gaurav Maria. He is the chairman of Franchise India Group, and Ms. Sonia Chaudhary. She is Managing Director of Franchise India Group. Because, as I said, it is a very, very serious and very important webinar which we are having today. That's why the chairman himself is there in this webinar to set the perspective and also welcome each one of you once again. Thank you, sir, for your time. And I would like to welcome you and request you to set the perspective and then invite Sonia ji also. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay, and welcome, friends, and welcome to this very special webinar. As Sanjay said, this is a Thursday evening webinar which we host to invite like-minded consultants to join Franchise India, Fran Global, and work as independent franchise consultants. So, friends, just to give you a little structure or flow of the webinar, I'll give some perspective to begin with and why we all there. And then I'll pass it on to Sonia, and she will run through a little bit our journey of franchising for 27 years, as Sanjay said. And then I'll also come in and explain you the business model because it's very, very important for you to understand how it really works. But giving you a little perspective on our journey. So while Sanjay has been taking a lot of Franchise India's name because that's a business we started in India. But this webinar, friends, is not limited to India. We have partners working in different parts of the world. And I especially welcome all the people who've joined in from Middle East, Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, which are the focus markets for this particular webinar. But we have partners in Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, and even United States. As a company, we run in 10 countries. I think while we influence much more countries, but our direct offices are in 10 countries. So we're in Australia, we are in Singapore, Malaysia, Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a good business for us. We have obviously India. India, as Sanjay said, we are in 97 cities, very large network and fully integrated organization. Then we have Rashmi, who's joined us, is out of our Dubai office. We have office in Business Bay in Dubai. And then we have London and North America. That's also our very key markets for us. So as a company, we are known for 27 years being very, very focused on franchising. So we work on global market entry, so which means that we do cross-border franchising, which means that we'll take a brand out of one market to take it to the other market. And then we do a lot of work in the domestic franchising. When I say domestic franchising, people who are seeking to start a business, any market. I mean, if you are living in Singapore and you're looking to start a business, you can walk into our office and we can help you choose the right opportunity. If you're looking to do the same thing in Dubai, we will give you the choice. So as a company, Franchise India and Fran Global, rather we have another third company called FranCorp, which is an American company. Between these three brands, we run our operations in different parts of the world. And we do three things, just to simplify and set the perspective. We are a platform for these three things. One, helping people to invest. You can be an individual investor, you can be a family office, you can be a large industrial house, and you want to make an investment into active business. When I say active business, it can be a new business which you want to start, or even an existing business you want to acquire. We help you. You are so uniquely placed that you will not find any other consulting firm doing that. So we are an investment advisory company which advises you to work on existing or a new business, any kind of a new business which you want to acquire. That's one. The second part of the business which we do is helping companies scale. So we also work on businesses which are promising and great businesses. And it can be a large multinational, it can be a mid-sized company, it can be even a startup. So we help them scale their opportunity. Fortunately, we have been having a lot of experience in this space. So we've done 18,000 brands across categories, across industries. And Sonia would go into even more detail in that, where we help these companies to scale that. So it can be an opportunity coming from like a 3M, which is the global multinational, where we work with them to create a business model and help them scale. It can be an opportunity coming from Unilever, where rather we've done 4 projects with them, or a Reliance, for that matter. We did their Geo, which is the most successful telecom business for them. So it can be these large companies, but the real value which we have created is actually the mid-size and the small companies, because these companies need more help and Franchise India, Fran Global helps them to scale that business. The third part of our business is exit planning, which means that if you want to exit your current business, that also we help doing that. So friends, this is our platform. So we'll talk about all these three business models much in detail. Now I'd like to bring in Sonia. She's the managing director of Franchise India Group and Fran Global. And she comes with a phenomenal experience on franchise brokerage. Rather, she's the one who led to build this whole franchise brokerage, which is world's largest franchise brokerage network. And we are very proud, as Sanjay was using, that we say this, that nobody sells more business than Franchise India or Fran Global. And that's true because that's the experience we have gained over the last 2 decades. And she has led a large team across India, overseas, for running and developing franchise concepts and then subsequently selling them. And Sonia, over to you. And if you can also give a little journey about our company and also some experiences and some of the businesses, which we do. And you will get surprised, friends, that sometimes in single hour, we will have multiple business being sold. So this is such a quantum. I was just, while the webinar started, and I was looking at Sonia announced that there was just now we did a deal for a business which is run by a large oil company, and we are advising them to scale their business. It's BPCL, which is Bharat Petroleum. And we just did, one of our members in Bangalore did a deal. So it's so often, so every 10, 20 minutes, franchisee will announce a deal, which essentially would mean that we'll bring another opportunity for an investor to start their own business. So over to you, Sonia, for taking and getting started on this.
Thanks. A very good evening to all of you. Happy to have all of you on this webinar today. And I'm sure there's a little background to what we do as a company has been shared with you. And I'm sure you must have also gone through some information about our company. In fact, the deal which Gaurav just mentioned, I was about to talk about it. This is a company, BPCL, and they gave us a special project to do some specific locations. And only after the successful launch of these locations, we were to get a larger project that was launched by them. And in fact, this particular deal, we started working with BPCL about 1.5 months back. And it took the same number of days, or I would say hours, and 1.5 months to convert this very first deal. So while we got this investor right on the first day when we started communicating and marketing, and the first webinar we did with BPCL to launch B Cafe, but it took almost about 2 odd months to get this investor qualified and bring him on board. And finally today we signed off with him. And incidentally, he happens to be a senior independent franchise consultant partner of ours, who's based out of Bangalore, Amar Luniaji. And that also showcased that, today, while you see the entire leadership of Franchise India on this webinar, a larger number of locations today in the country, which Sanjay talked about, 97 cities, 10 international markets, larger number of our cities and penetration in India and also overseas markets is represented through our independent franchise consultants. And this is the community that we want to make even bigger than what it is today, because that's the opportunity that we see. And I'm sure this is a question that comes in everybody's mind, given the network we have, the distribution we have, the brands that we manage, and the business overall that we manage. Why is still a need for some more partners to come in and take that pie from the business? So I'll give you a little background to that. We'll be happy to take as many questions you have on the business or otherwise. At the same time, we would also like to hear from you on your profile, because it is a communication about what we do as a company, but equally it is also important for both of us, in fact, to understand whether we're getting into a relationship which benefits both of us equally. So the initiative, like I said, for IFC program, has been initiated so that we could work with entrepreneurs like yourself who become our partners and who have the skill set and the intent to further drive entrepreneurship. And that is what our company has been doing the last 27 years. We have been driving entrepreneurship. And this is what has been the core driver and the foundation of our business. And more and more people today are starting their entrepreneurship journey or buying businesses than were doing maybe 20 years back or 30 years back. And more than companies we had 27 years back when we started Franchise India, this number has become very, very big. We started our business, we used to have a handful of mature companies who were into franchising, largely in the education space, coaching, preschool space. But now when I look back and see the journey that we have, in fact, come a long way. There's a lot of learning. We have, in fact, played a very important role to even expand this ecosystem. When I say expand this ecosystem, because this ecosystem needed more and more entrepreneurs to come and take business. This ecosystem needed more and more right and sustainable companies to come forward and, award their franchisees. So that has been the endeavor at Franchise India, Frank Global, Frank Corp, all our companies together, where we worked to put this ecosystem and also strengthen our capabilities as a company so that we could bring in a lot of, value overall. So not only, I would say, we created this community, but we also felt the opportunity to expand this ecosystem and the community through partnerships in the form of independent franchise consultants. Almost every day, there's a new business opportunity that comes into franchising, which is launched on the platform of Franchise India. So the need was to get bigger. The need was also to get deeper and connect with this community. Right. So how do we create these partnerships which has some purpose, which has some meaning, and above all, it has to make some money, and this has to be a profitable partnership. And that's where the idea of independent franchise consultants actually came in. So before I talk about, the opportunity, and, I think Sanjay did mention about, how it is becoming big, the consumption part also, but why IFC channel, and I would say there are, 5 things, which I would say that's, we need the qualities of a pilot, right? So a pilot not only requires leadership qualities or ownership, he also has to communicate and work well in part of a ecosystem he operates, right? So for me and for all of us, this pilot is somebody, who brings in the quality of persistence. So the P stands for persistence, right? So which is a never give up attitude and to make it happen. And persistence also ensures that challenges are met with determination, the way long. Like the deal I talked about, it took about 2 months. Amarji had been writing, texting me, every day it's taking that long. And even the brand sometimes used to get irritated that we have a long process to get these approvals. But he was at it and, never gave up. So it's the first quality of a pilot, which is persistence. The second is integrity, which is respected and I would say the ethics. All our partners today, they come with a lot of respect in their cities and, even sometimes, there are a lot of advice, because our business is unlike other businesses. It is not product centric. It is a business which is backed by a lot of knowledge and advice, and companies, investors who are vulnerable a lot of times depend on the advice of our teams, our partners. And because these partners are respected in their cities, they have a standing, we are very sure, and that's never been the case, advising somebody, for the sake of earning a few dollars extra. And especially the business of brokerage is run on the highest standards of ethics and integrity. So that's something that we need as a second filter for us. And third, L in the pilot stands for somebody who comes with an attitude of being a learner. So that's a 365 days in a year. If somebody has that time, has that capacity to learn every day and build their knowledge base, is somebody we would want to qualify as a partner. Fourth is ownership, which is one big reason I would say franchising. That's also the foundation of franchising. And that also is the power of common ownership, where you take all systems, you take all trainings from Franchise India, but you lead your own practice, right? You bring in your own value to the entire chain. And lastly is the talent and the time component. So when I say the talent and the time, we have partners across India, overseas. On an average, our partners would come with an experience of upwards of 15 years, 20, 25 years, who worked in some of the most reputed companies, some listed companies, large corporations of India at various levels, starting from mid-management to senior management. And if we as a company were to even choose this talent, it would not have been possible, right? So the cost of the talent is high. The integrity was another reason we wanted to do that. And especially a larger number of our partners also today come from cities which are beyond our top metropolitan cities, tier 2, where talent becomes even a bigger issue. Right? And then comes the time, which means we need partners who can give enough number of hours to run this practice. Because unlike many businesses that you might have experienced, if you have been running businesses, or you've seen, you would understand businesses are actually gauged by the return on the investment which is done on these businesses. But unlike these businesses, our businesses return on the amount and the quality of time that you put in the business. So these were 5 things, friends, I wanted to, in fact, talk about. And I'd like to maybe give back to Gaurav to talk about how big the opportunity is and give you some understanding of how this industry is also growing and how do we see ourselves fitting together. And we normally start with a small Q&A where we understand your profiles. And so we'll put that in the Q&A also. And I'll let maybe Gaurav mention that, and you can start writing in. We'll speak your names. We'll also speak your profile and also the city that you come from. Over to you.
Thank you, Sonia. And friends, as Sonia said, it's a huge opportunity, and I'll run through the whole opportunity side in terms of how big is that. But as Sonia mentioned, that let's start with understanding each other. So while we have shared our profile and our backgrounds, we'd like to hear from you. So if you can use the Q&A box, if you see on the bottom, there is a Q&A box which you can click and write. Introduce yourself and share your profile. So if you're a professional, write just P. So we know that you're a professional working for somebody. And you can also write your city. So, and we can also tell you that are we open for that city or not open for that city, and so on and so forth. So if you're a professional, write P. If you're a business owner, write B. And if you are a management consultant, which means that some form of consulting experience you have, write MC. It can be management consultant, it can be coaching, it can be learning and development, any kind of learning capability or a knowledge capability you have. And then if you are in a career change, which means that you're now looking for a new career, then write C. So 4 things: P for professionals, B for business owners, MC for management consultant, and C for career change. And write your city also, so we know who are we talking to. And then we have the first is to have Mr. Islam, who's come from Bangladesh. I was just in Bangladesh about 3 days back, and we have a full operation running there. And this territory is led by Bimal, who's there with us on the call. So Bimal would get in touch with you. Mr. Islam, you have a great experience, worked with all the large multinational companies. So good to have you there. Then we have Rajiv Pandey, who's a professional. Rajiv, it would be great if you can also mention your city. And then we have Mr. Somebody doesn't have he's put a Xiaomi, which is a mobile. It doesn't come on name, but it is a career change. And then we have Mr. Fahmi Farooq, and who's also from Bangladesh. Bangladesh is a great market. I have personally would have traveled at least, if not more, maybe 75 times to Bangladesh. It's an interesting market. Especially Dhaka. It's a very highly populated city, full of consumption, and a very little brands available. And I feel that there's a next 10 to 15, 20 years, what would happen to that market is remarkable. Then we have Mr. Chaudhary, also from Dhaka, but he has a management consulting experience. Good to know that. So happy to connect. Then we have Sandeep from Ahmedabad. Sandeep ji, if our Sanket, who sits out of Ahmedabad, would talk to you. Then Afzal is from Calicut. Again, one market I really want to develop is Calicut. Huge opportunity for us in that market. And because that is very entrepreneurial city. Again, I think in Kerala, the biggest entrepreneurial city is Calicut, more than even Kochi. So we do a lot of events in Calicut. So Saktivel would get in touch with you. And then somebody is from Ludhiana, Punjab. Again, we're doing actually a show in Ludhiana, just happening in next, I think, couple of days. And our teams are going to be there. And we have a very strong partner in Ludhiana, already one, but we are adding teams. And then we have somebody from Gaganji is from Delhi, and you're most welcome to visit our headquarters. We are headquartered in Delhi, so we're happy to do that. Then we have Mr. Neja from Gurgaon. Again, Gurgaon is a market which is phenomenal for us, always been, because it's proportionate to infrastructure. So wherever you get new infrastructure, and Gurgaon is always building a lot of retail, commercial infrastructure which house businesses. So it's among the top 4 or 5 markets for us in India. And then we have somebody from Kerala who's a management consultant, Sohail. So love to talk to you, Sohail. Rajiv is from Kathmandu. Kathmandu, we are doing a show on 27th April. And so that's why we are aggressively looking to partner with one or two only good IFC partners there, because this show is going to be very, very big. It's a third show we're doing in Kathmandu. It's a top market. We already have exclusive partnerships for friends who joined from Middle East, Bangladesh, and Nepal. We manage about 150 European and American corporations, which we have rights also for these markets. So when you start in Kathmandu, you can start from the next day, start representing global brands. And that's an opportunity. While it's a small market, but a very, very powerful market. We've done a lot of market entry work in all these markets. And then we have somebody from Dubai, doesn't come your name, it's just say the number. So Rashmi would work on this. Then Mr. Rahman is a business owner. Somebody's from Doha. Doha again is a market which I want to do. Anita ji, very, very interesting market. And we have some very interesting global brands. When you look at GCC like Dubai, Doha, or any other countries, Saudi Arabia and places like that, 90% of brands are all from Europe and US, because the expectation is like that. And fortunately, work with the top-notch brands across categories. It's just not F&B fashion, but it is healthcare, education, retail. A lot of work we do in the new technology set of businesses. And I'll talk about all that, but very keen on Doha. Very, very keen, because I know, again, it's small market, but very interesting high ticket market. Top class. And we're doing again a show in Doha also. We just finished a show in Abu Dhabi, which was 22nd of February. And okay, so we have and then Mr. Rahman, and then we have somebody from Riyadh. Again, if any market, I would say outside India, where I can create comparison, is Saudi Arabia. And fortunately, is getting very mature for franchising. Again, very proportionate to the large infra drive. So Saudi government is committed about $1 trillion to create infra, which means that they would create shopping mall, they would create hotels, they would create this. And what would need to be done is to bring businesses there. When I started working in Dubai in early 2000, the same situation was there. It was so much of infra push that every business, every brand wanted to come there. And now you have, actually, if you really see from statistics viewpoint, London has the highest number of global brands. So about 76% of world brands exist in UK. If you want to make a Scandinavian water or something like that, you will get it in the UK. And after UK, the second country is actually Dubai now, which has the maximum number of brand penetration. But I see Riyadh and all these places would get the same level or even go higher, because they are very committed, both by investments and also opening up a country to much larger tourism and structure like that. So I am very excited. Rather, I spend myself a lot of time in Middle East, because that's a market I have a very big focus on. And then we have Mr. Mangesh, who's there. And we've met. Very good to connect again, Mangesh. If you met me, happy to connect again. Then we have Asgar, who's from Dhaka again. And then we have, I'm doing faster because I don't want to run out. And thank you very much. By the way, everybody's writing, so I need to also acknowledge everyone. So Umer is also from Dubai. Umer, if you are a management consultant, so this is the business for you. And then we have Atul, who's from Rajkot. Atul, we're happy to have you on the call. Then we have, again, Mr. Rahman, who's part of the consulting. So he's been part of Accenture, top consulting firm, rather the largest consulting firm by size. About 600,000 people work under Accenture. And we have Narendra from Agra. Then we have Sunil from Nepal. Then we have Karthik from Hyderabad. So Ravi is a senior leader with us. Karthik, he will get in touch with you. Then we have Mr. Himanshu, and there's somebody from Jaipur. Dinesh. Dinesh, I think either Sanjay Bhatt directly would talk to you, because Jaipur again is a great market for us. We do all alternative month one show in Jaipur for many years, and a great market for us. Again, very entrepreneurial market. And then we have Vishal from New Delhi, and then we have another member, uh, Tanzmeen, which is from Bangladesh. Again, a lawyer and a stockbroker. A very, very unique combination. A lawyer and a stockbroker is a very complex combination, right? And I don't know which part of you is more dominant. If the lawyer is too dominant, then you will always be saving yourself in everything. But if a stock market is dominant, then you are a high risk taker. So you will go out and take risk and take bets. So I don't know what shade of you. It's very actually very unique combination to have somebody who's both. But yeah, it's a interesting combination. And then, so friends, let's get started. And thank you very much for all of you who have really written, and a lot of still are pending, not written. Sometimes people shy away writing to, I think, but I'm very happy and that a lot of people have written. And good to have you. Good to have you, friends from different parts of the world. And that's what we want to connect. We want to be a super connector, which means we want to create opportunities from one country to another country. And that's our future. So let's start. I'll do about, while Sonia has covered a lot of points, but I'll do about 8-9 points, which are very important. And keep asking your questions. Any question you have, I'll be more than happy to answer. The whole idea is that even if you're not interested to be part of this, you are educated on franchising and the whole business model around it. So let's understand the opportunity. I always believe that opportunity and timing of the opportunity is most important. When I started my career, I started with telecom in 1995. And a lot of people say you were very successful in telecom. I say I was not successful. My timing was right. In 95, if you joined telecom, when GSM was just coming to the world, you cannot fail. It's just about your timing. If you joined a late 90s information technology and IT as an employee or as an entrepreneur, you cannot go fail, right? So every time there is timing of an opportunity. There is a timing of an opportunity when you decide to be part of it. And first, let's define the opportunity. Opportunity means that how many people are out there who are looking to start a business, and who's addressing this problem. Very carefully understand. How many people are there out there who are helping you to start a business, and how big is this size of it? So let me start with a big size. Every home has somebody who's looking to start a business. Even my professional friends who are on the screen, they also at the back of the mind think at one day I'll do my own business, which is not bad. So entrepreneurship is real. Everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, right? So which means that you are addressing almost 100% audience out there, which is adult audience, which means people who are even coming out of college or people who are professionals working in the job. They are also back of the mind every day driving to their office. They're thinking that one day I'll own my own company, right? And that's why this whole startup rush is going on. So there is huge opportunity of people looking to start their own business. But the good news is there's nobody out there who's addressing this problem, right? You see, a lot of consultants are there in the market on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, who are claiming that they can grow your business, they can do a lot to your business, but none you will find who would say, I can get you in business. Look, as simple as that. Like if people meet me sometime in the airport or in a flight and they say, ask me, what do you do? I say, I help people to get into business. And so powerful. Rather, all our IFCs, when you ask them, what do you do? They say, I'm a start your own business specialist. I help people to start a business, right? And this is a genuine problem. This is a genuine problem where I started in 1999. When I started this company in 1999, I was in the same situation, how would you start a business? Either you will follow friends. I call the triple F: friends, family, and fools. Sometimes you start with your friend is doing well and you just copy it, right? Or your family has some uncle who's done well in some business. Everybody in the family wants to do the business. Third, you just think that this business is right for you, or you feel that this business can do well. Like a lot of places I see people getting into food because I'm passionate about it, and they fail because they don't understand what it takes to do the business. And I wanted to be the fourth F, which can bring intelligence on your investing, right? When you want to invest your hard-earned money and start a business, you can walk into Fran Global Franchise India, and we'll help you intelligently select what is the right opportunity for you. Now ask yourself, how big is that? Like my learned friend, who's a stockbroker, if you want to buy a stock in India, I'm just giving you an example of India, there are 1 million brokers out there who can help you in investing into mutual funds, stock market, insurance, and so on and so forth. And if you want to buy a property, then there is another 1 million. But if you want to buy a business, there's none. So one, you have such a large opportunity and no competition. So when you start in Nepal, Bangladesh, or Riyadh, or places like that, there is no community. Riyadh, we will still have few consultants, franchise consultants, and I don't know all of them. None of them has capability of our size and structure, and they are not international. So they're just domestic consultants. But in other markets, there's nobody. And nobody has that capability to do that. And why this unique situation and leadership come with us? That's a point number 2. Because the 27 years Franchise India has got, or Fran Global has got to a unique position. What is that unique position? So the critical part when you want to become a franchise consultant and you want to help people start a business is that you need to have aggregation of businesses, right? So if I want to become a stock market broker, I need to have a ability to offer you a large portfolio, which you can select from, right? Only company in the world which has exclusive rights of 1,000 over brands, which are both global and also domestic, which comes from that country, is Fran Global and Franchise India. And when you start with us, the day one, you have those brands represented by you. That is a very critical and very big differentiation which people want. If you're living out of Riyadh, you don't want just a local brand. You want a brand out of California. You want that French bakery which you want to bring from France. You want to have maybe a school which is coming from Singapore or any other businesses. So today we are doing across spectrum, across industries. I'll give you some example. I'm doing brands out of Australia, which are very, very unique brand. I'm doing sports programs coming from Australia. We're doing a large food businesses, especially coffee. Melbourne is the coffee capital of the world. We're bringing the top class coffee companies coming from Melbourne. We're doing some fitness programs coming out of Australia. Then we're coming from Singapore. Singapore, we're doing a lot of work in the water recycling and other pieces and education. Rather than representing the number 1 brand out of Singapore, which is the topmost name when it comes to education. Same in Malaysia. Malaysia, we're doing a lot of businesses which we're trying to bring in. So all of the markets, we have handpicked opportunities which come very natural to that market and then bring those opportunities to another market. That becomes a very unique situation to do that. So we have 1,000+ brands which are exclusive with us. So when you become a franchise consultant and work as an independent franchise consultant in that country, you represent all those brands exclusive, which means that people want that brand, they have to come to you. Second thing which we have done, which is also very important, is to create that ecosystem. When I started a business in India, nobody understood franchising. Nobody understood franchising. And it was very difficult. I used to represent a brand called Subway and many other global brands, and people didn't know about these brands. And it was impossible for me to really find who can be the interested person which I can sell these brands, right? So I stepped back and say, I will create an ecosystem which would create and enable us to know who are the people looking for that business. And that's exactly what I do to all markets. So I did a show in Abu Dhabi, and people who came to Abu Dhabi, we had about 400 people, and they paid and came to Abu Dhabi show. I have 400 people now in Abu Dhabi who are looking to start a business. We'll do a show in Nepal. This is the 3rd year of show. We'll get about 400 or 500 people coming in. We will have 400 people ready who are looking to start a business, right? Same thing we did in Bangladesh in January. We did a show in Bangladesh in January, and we had so many people paid and came. And it surprises you. Sometimes you think that only the top groups, if you go Bangladesh, there are about 20 odd top groups, the Bushandras, the Pran, the Uniteds, and likes of them. You think that these are the people who are buying? Actually, answer is no. You never know. You get a lot of these other people who we never put into our radar, right? And these are the people who are buying franchises and bringing businesses to the market. Rather, the first business I sold in that market was Gloria Jeans, which is the topmost coffee chain of Bangladesh. And then I did a brand which Saiti Sonia did, was Cold Stone Creamery. And we gave it to somebody who had no experience in food. And we went to this US company and got them. And Cold Stone actually entered Bangladesh before they entered India. And India, they are partners with Lulu Group, which is a large Middle Eastern group. And they are partners with them. But in Bangladesh, we were able to take it to an independent entrepreneur who had no experience. But we convinced this company to do that. So this is brings our leadership position. So when you work and partner with Fran Global Franchise India, you are the leadership. You are at the top notch of the consulting practice. We are the world's largest company when it comes to franchise development. And our portfolio of success, we are happy to share with you, is nobody can match that. There is a lot of work been done over the years, and we continue to do that. We still feel like a startup. I'm 27-year-old in franchising, but everybody in the industry, if you ask about me, they would say we still believe that we are starting day one. This is the day one for us, and we work as that speed and structure because we feel there's still a lot to catch. There's a lot to catch in the whole globalization of businesses, and that's what our future is. I have two dreams to really do. One, globalization of businesses, how I can take and integrate developing world with developed world, and I can even take vice versa. I can take a Nepal. There is a beautiful brand which I'm still discussing called Himalayan coffee. Why can't I take a Himalayan coffee to the world, right? So there might not be 100 brands from that market, but I can take 1 or 2, 3 brands and make them global and take it to it. Like, why would we not take an Indian company to United States? Like Tanishq is already there, and Tanishq is now growing aggressively, and a lot of other brands are also growing in US, and that's the future, right? Even our franchise of cricket has gone to US. This year, it'll be a big season of major league in US, which is owned by Indian families. And Mukesh Ambani owns one team, and Shah Rukh owns one team, and then you have local people. This is also a franchise, and we've taken our cricket franchise to United States, and that's a big franchise expansion. So I feel this is what is going to happen to the world, and as the dynamics would change, we'll see businesses are becoming cross-border, and that's what we want to do. So that's one dream I have. And the second dream is democratizing entrepreneurship, which means that entrepreneur should not be a right for somebody who has a lot of money. If you want to become a doctor, you can become a doctor. You want to become an engineer, you can become an engineer. You can become a lawyer. And similarly, you can become an entrepreneur. And you can be, if you are having that all the capabilities, somebody would back you up. And that's the era we're getting into. It's going to be your skills more important than the capital you bring in. And so that's our structure. So our business model is simple, friends. We have brands, we have investors, and you as the independent franchise consultant counsel them and bring them together. And when you do the transaction, we are paid by a brand and we are paid by the investor. And it's a really attractive investment. So for example, if I sold a master franchise for a particular company, I mean, let's take an example of Riyadh. I sold a master franchise for an American company, and they charge $1 million fee for giving rights of Saudi Arabia. And our fee would be anything from a 25 to 30% of that fee. So which means your potential to make just in one master sales is as high as, say, 200,000 or 300,000 US dollars. But you don't sell masters every day of $1 million. What you make your cash flow work is selling unit franchises. So you create a combination of portfolio, some high ticket deals, and then you do a lot of mid ticket deals, and then you do a lot of cash flow, which means that you're selling a small businesses on a monthly basis, which gives you a regular cash flow. This is one part of your revenue. The second part of your revenue is that you onboard brands and scale them to next level. Just now, before this call, Rashmi and I was on a call with somebody in Oman, and we're going to Oman and working on some Omani brands, which are great because it's a small market, and they want to go GCC. and they want to go full region, and later they can go even outside the region. But the first comfort is within the region. So we work on bringing brands on board. That also becomes your revenue. So you make transactional revenue, and you also make money on when you get brands on board. Some of our partners are specialists on getting brands on board. I have a partner in Chennai who's actually a specialist. He works only on research and prospecting and bring brands on board. The third business, which I give it very rare to any, unless and until I see there is a skill to do it, is exit planning, which means any business which wants to sell the business, any entrepreneur which wants to sell the business for different reasons. They're not doing well, they are not interested to continue, they have no succession, there are some other issues which are going on in the business, and they want to sell the business. They come to us, we value the business and put it on the block, and we sell that business. That's also a hugely attractive opportunity. Say, for example, you were in Bangladesh and somebody is running a business of maybe a hotel or something, or a restaurant or a salon or a fitness center, and you don't want to continue and you want to sell the business. There is not even a single person in Bangladesh who can help you. Not even a single person. So maximum you can do is go to a chartered accountant and say, can you help me? The chartered accountant would, one, not be able to put the right valuation because they're not trained on putting valuations. Second, if they do valuation also, they would not be able to find because they don't have a network. They don't have an investor network. We have investor network. Today, if I have an opportunity to sell, I can reach out to 1,000 people in Bangladesh tomorrow morning, one click, and say, I have this running business on sale. If you're interested, apply. So out of the 1,000, maybe 5 people are interested. And that's a good starter, right? So because we have the ecosystem, which we have created and invested, and millions of dollars we have invested to create that ecosystem, that every market we operate in, we have a very strong investor base. So that's the business model, friends. And I personally work with every single IFC partner to design their portfolio. And depending on what the income structure they have, some can handle high ticket deals, some are happy doing mid-size, and some are very cash flow driven. They want to really match, especially professionals. When they come and become independent franchise consultant, they first thing want match, or the salary I get outside, I need to match that salary, right? So that's a mindset which they have. And most of the times, our earnings with IFC are much, much higher than what you make out of even a multinational company. So then the next question is, this is a very important question, and this is something which triggers sometimes. And Sonia and Sanjay, keep looking at if there is any question anybody has asked, just tell me, I will answer that. So 3 things which are very, very strong. One, overall opportunity. Second, our leadership. Third is the business partner. I'm 100% convinced between these 3, we have a hugely compelling case. But is it for you? That's very important. I can have the best opportunity in the world, but it might not be for you, right? So how do you really ask yourself critical question that, is it for you? Is it something which you want to do? Is it something which excites you? You want to become a business consultant. You want to do this. Like I've been on the road. I started, went to Bangladesh, went to Calcutta. Then next day I was in Bombay. Yesterday I was in Chennai. Today I'm in Bangalore. Tomorrow I go to Paris, 2 days in Paris show, and then I go to London. Some people tell me that I'm crazy, but I actually love doing this because this is something which is exciting me. A lot of people don't like it. They don't like getting up in the morning and getting onto a flight and going to some other place and doing what we do. But if you put me around people, and now I've 6:30, I have to leave for a seminar I'm doing. Somebody's invited me to do a seminar. It'll run for another 2 hours, right? So if you love doing this, if you love consulting, and if you love getting around people, solving their problem, helping them to discover their journey, then this is for you. And if you just come as a transaction, look, let me try it out and see if it works. And maybe you are not a people person. Maybe you are introvert. Maybe you are somebody who doesn't excite this kind of work. Then it is not for you. So this question I cannot answer for you. This you need to answer for yourself. Are you really looking to be a business consultant? And do you think that this is your career path? This is what you love doing it, right? Then only you can really enjoy what you do. And then you will build it up also. You will build piece by piece your practice, and it can become a meaningful structure for you. And that's what is a question which I leave it on you to really ask yourself. Earning potential, when Sanjay runs a presentation, it's a phenomenal earning potential. That's not a problem. But I've realized that knowledge businesses, like Sonia was trying to say, there are three kinds of businesses which you get. Three kind of ROI in any business you get, right? Three kinds. First ROI, which I never did, all my life, is return on investment. Because I always felt that there is somebody else who has more money than I have and would exceed me. Right? I've built world's largest franchise solution company. And if I would have come from with money, I would have never built it. Right? So that's why I missed all the businesses which need a lot of capital to be done, because I felt that there was somebody else who has more capital than I have, and I will never be able to take leadership, right? So these are return on investment businesses, which means that you put $1 million, you can get 14, 15, 16%, 10, 20% return on capital. That's what your earning is, right? This is first kind of businesses, which largely what we call the conventional business. The second ROI is return on involvement, which I love. I'm a 365-day working guy. So I work 365 days, and that's something which lawyers do, chart accountants do, management consultants do. They love spending and earning on their time. I rather tell my team, my product is time. I need to maximize time and see how I maximize and get more value for my time, right? That's return on involvement. The third ROI, which is actually the most important, arbitrage, right? If all of these people put the same time, there would be few who would do more. Now, this is very funny, right? So if all of us decided that we'll put 365, 10 hours a day or 15 hours a day, but still 2% of the people out of that lot would do much more. And these people I call have the third ROI, which is called return on intelligence, right? Return on intelligence is where you become Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, the top stockbroker. And there are people in Dalal Street who are selling stocks, right? Or buying stocks. Not everybody becomes Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, right? Right. So it is the intelligence. It is the intelligence which brings in, which means that how you build your portfolio, understand the consumption, understand what people are looking at, what kind of businesses would do well in next 5 years, what kind of businesses people will look at it, how the consumption would change, where is a new infra coming in, what is the next dynamics, and so on and so forth. So that intelligence is a hunger you need to have to continue to know more. And it makes you more intelligent whenever you represent yourself, right? So you understand, I was in Riyadh just about a month back, and we had a show there. And so I'll spend time with the doorman sitting at the front of the hotel. I will spend time with even a driver who would pick me up in the entire thing and ask him a lot of questions. Some people feel that I'm a little restless and why I'm doing this. But the truth is, I need to know where the world is going, right? What is happening here, how things are changing. What is the next big thing? When people come, when people can spend, where they go, when they come here. So all that is intelligence to make you understand what is the next businesses which would happen in these markets. So friends, it is a great opportunity. It's already proven. We are number one in the world. We have done it over and over time. But we are looking for a very strong, like-minded people who have that same passion, same area of interest like we have, and we collectively work towards creating a larger entrepreneurial ecosystem. But what kind of support we provide you? We provide you a support I call the MOST, M-O-S-T. M stands for mentoring. We mentor you. It's very important. It's very, very important to handhold you, especially for the first 3, 4, 5 months, because you don't know it. You don't know the business. You don't know how it needs to be done. So the second is O stands for opportunities. We will provide you opportunities. You don't have to worry about that. The day you start, you have a lot of opportunities and world-class brands available with you. Then S stands for support. Initially, you don't know how to draft a first proposal. You don't know how to engage somebody in that thing, how to get an investor on board, how to structure a deal, how to get the legal agreements up in place. All that support is real time. We provide you that. And last is T, which is the biggest differentiation, is the training. Training is the key. The next training is happening on 7th, 8th, and 9th, 3-day training in our headquarters. And for overseas partners, I do it in different countries. So do Dubai, we do in Bangladesh. We just finished training in Bangladesh. And so we do different countries. And if you're happy to travel to India and our headquarters, it is also great because then you see the full size of the organization, work with people, and so on and so forth. Rather, we had a gentleman who's a Brazilian, lives in India, but now moving back to Brazil, just got trained, and he's going to be doing in Brazil. Again, a big market, a big economy. And we have taken some interesting brands from that market. And so training is a very critical thing. So mentoring, giving you opportunities, giving you full support, and training. It's very, very important. And training, Sonia and I do the first 2 days, and it's all taken care by us. We pick you from the airport, we drop you to the airport, your logistics, your hotels, everything is taken care by us. So friend, this is a great opportunity, and I'm very, very keen to really build some markets. I'm very keen on Saudi Arabia. I'm very keen on Qatar. I'm very keen on Nepal. I'm very keen on few cities in India, like Rajkot, somebody said. I'm super keen on Rajkot. We have Surat, we have already Baroda, we have Ahmedabad. We are looking for this market. Jaipur, I want to add team. We already have one strong partner there. We want to do it. Punjab, I'm very keen on that market. And obviously, Bangladesh, we're growing aggressively, and Bimal is leading that. So friends, all of our teams would touch base with you respectively where you are, and then organize next 2-3 days, because I won't be on travel, but depending on everybody's availability, we can do a Zoom call, and they would set up the time. And if you feel that this is the right opportunity for you, and we feel equally that you are a great partner for us, then we will become partners for life, and we'll work hard to make it meaningful for you. So friends, this is where I will take a leave, and I always overrun a little bit. You can see that it comes, it's my passion, and I feel that I have to lead it. While Sanjay was saying that chairman comes in, I think, this webinar I used to do alone. Now I have a lot of colleagues with me, but it's my passion. So it's not something which I do it for doing it. I believe that God has been kind to me, given a lot in franchising, both respect and work I've done. And if I can share the same thing with other meaningful, like-minded partners, it would be worth it. And how can we make a global organization out of a basic, simple thought when I started this business, and how can I build a global multinational consulting firm out of for franchising? So thank you very much, and I will pass it on to Sanjay. Sanjay would be happy to run a small presentation, and there is some question. Mohammed, training in Middle East would also happen in April. So we're doing in Dubai. So that would be a training in Dubai. Again, 3-day training, and we'll do. Actually, we will start doing 2 locations for at least this part of the world, which is India and Dubai. And for European countries, we will do it in different parts. But Rashmi would come back to you with the dates. And I'm traveling to Middle East also in this month, so we can set up meetings, appointments. We'll be there in Nepal for a show, but before that, I'll visit a day in Nepal. I'm very keen to have somebody onboarded before that, because they will benefit from the show, because it's a big show, and we can do some major deals in that market. So friends, thank you very much. Thanks for your time today, and over to you, Sanjay, for the last part of the presentation. And I'll be happy to talk to you, some of you, and if you are interested in any other franchise, then also reach out to our teams, and we'll be happy to give you some advice. And that's what we do, and anybody who come in touch with you, pass that word that if they are interested also to take any business, we're there to help. So thank you very much. Thanks for your time, and over to you, Sanjay. Thanks.
Thank you so much, sir. Before I start the presentation, a vote of thanks to every partner who have joined us today in this webinar and have made it so interactive and have given us your questions and made it so interactive that we have taken all your questions also, because this is very, very important once we are making it two-way. Otherwise, in these webinars, we don't have an option wherein you can talk. But if you are making your presence in the Q&A box, so it gives us also understanding that we are making it meaningful and purposeful for both of us. So we will take you a few slides. Rest we will give you complete understanding further once we have one-on-one interaction with each one of you. So what I'm going to talk about today is franchising. The first slide, which we have discussed, it is a $4.8 trillion industry, as we have understood. So what we consume every day is coming from a franchise company. So that is what the volume of franchising is all about. So if we talk about sector wise, we have discussed that franchising is coming from each sector now. Now, when we are talking about mainstream line businesses earlier, it was education, food, it was fashion, it was healthcare. There were four categories which are major categories earlier. But now, if you'll see, there are different categories, even tech-based companies who are coming into franchise. Even healthcare companies, there are e-clinics also which are offering franchise. Pet care businesses now 100% they're in franchising. So many companies are coming now into this pet care business also and offering franchise because they feel the business is in every city. So you need to have presence in each city. Automotive. If you'll see the automobiles, if you'll see now today, electric vehicles, the time for EV. Now, EV segment, it is coming on in franchising way because they also have to operate in different markets and different locations. So franchising is the easiest way and the viable way to enter into new cities. Also, if you'll see, the EV vehicles would need charging stations. So charging stations, another business which is absolutely there, because wherever you have now EV segment vehicles, which are two-wheelers or four-wheelers, then you need now the charging stations also. So every city you go, then you need charging stations, and that is also franchise. We have seen hotels chains, we have seen hospitals, these are all franchise. We have seen bigger businesses which are corporate level businesses like Tata. We also have Tata Chroma with us, but there are different models that can be have the operational way of doing the business, but they are all offering for franchise as well. So it is open for inviting a partner to be a partner or franchisee for those companies as well. Hotel chains and these hospitals or these big brands, which are I'm talking about big formats like Tata Chroma, they are all offering a FOCO model wherein they are looking forward for partner to invest and all operationally managed by the company themselves. Reason is they want to give a last mile experience to their investors and the consumers. And second, they don't know the know-how of the business. Like normal person would not be knowing how to run a hotel. They would not be knowing how to run a hostel. So what they need partners. They want to raise the fund and they will manage themselves, right? To give last mile experience to the consumers. So Franchise India becomes the one platform for all such companies to bring in the investor, to get the fund raised for them and operated by the company itself. So if you see retail segment, very large segment, which I have already done. Now maintenance businesses are also coming into franchise. Gardening business is also coming into franchise. Now today, if you need any plumber at home, electrician at home, it's also coming from a franchise company. So everything what I said, right from the milk which we are using in the morning or the bakery products, all are coming from franchising. So that's how the scope of franchising sector-wise has increased. So consumption grows, franchises grow. When franchising grow, and that is only one platform, that is Franchise India. So what we offer really? Now we are offering, once we are closing the discussion, some of you are on board, we understood the model. After that, what we offer is going to be tablet. So tablet would mean T stands for technology. So we are creating a CRM for you, all the database which will be given in the CRM, and also Franchise India domain and email address for each one of you. So once you get the email address, so what we mean is that you represent Franchise India and you will be sending all your communications and mails and everything with Franchise India email address. A stands for excess of infrastructure we have. For example, we have office in Kolkata. If you are around, you can use our office. You are in Chennai, you can use our office. Someone was from Delhi NCR, you can use our office full time as well. And you can also invite all your investors, your clients to have a meeting wherein our team would help you to close the business. So that's what the infrastructure what we have is open and free to access for our IFC partners. Brands, we have around 1100 brands today with us. So we are saying all these opportunities, brands are all open for all of our partners to drive, not only domestic opportunities. We are also having international brands with us, which are not exposed and available in the market. That's only driven by Franchise India. As we discussed, Front Global. Front Global is our international arm of the business of Franchise India Group, wherein we help international brands to come and enter into India. So they have to come in India. If I can give you an example, long back, once we have got Subway in India, it was 1998 when we got Subway contract and we got in India, we signed a master franchise for them. We got McDonald's in India, we got Domino's Pizza, we got Pizza Hut in India. Now, there are only two pizza chain companies in India which are international. But today's time, both are not offering franchise. So we are getting a lot of inquiries asking for an international brand for a pizza brand, but we don't have any pizza brand to offer. And these big boys are not offering now franchise because they are all markets are done. If there is anything which is happening, is already on the contractual basis, wherein there is a joint venture which is happening. So they are looking forward for a property partner, not from the investment purpose. So it is only the property they are looking forward. That also Franchise India do, but it is not about the franchising they are offering. So what we do, we still have coming a lot of inquiries. So if I just give an example of this brand, so we have Figaro's Pizza, which is again a US-based pizza brand. We got them in India. So that's also the capability of Franchise India, that we get all these brands to operate in India. We enter them in India, but we also invest. So Franchise India have taken master franchisee of master rights for Figaro's Pizza in India. And now further in all markets, we are opening area developers, and under them, we are also opening unit franchise. There was a question in the chat box that what is the unit franchise, how you create an infrastructure for them, and how you create a meaningful deal for our partners, and what is the calculation. That I'll give you complete understanding in my next slide. So we do all unit franchise also, but largely when we are getting a master rights, then we are opening area developers, city-based franchise. We call them area developers. That becomes one person. So for Figaro's Pizza, we have opened 17 area developers already. We have closed in India. So some are already live. Hyderabad, we have a live store. Delhi NCR, we have live. Punjab is already closed. Bangalore is already closed. All the major cities, we have already given now area developers. Now, when we are opening all the unit franchisees under these area developers, that also we do. And that's a support to the area developer, what we are doing. So once it's the complete network would be there, you will also know about Figaro's Pizza. But today, as they are not present in India largely, the network is yet to be built across. That's why a lot of people do not know about it. So that is wherein Franchise India come forward, and also we invest in those big brands, which are international brands, to get them in India. Likewise, we have many companies from US, from UK, from UAE, which are now in India through Franchise India. Even from South Africa also, we have a couple of brands which we are now taking through franchise route in India. So this brand list, as I said, is available for all our partners. But once you come for the training, we build your brand portfolio. It's not possible you can work for 500, 1,000 brands. We create your brand portfolio wherein we can have a complete focus in a month, and accordingly, we give you leads. L stands for leads. So we give you 50 minimum leads, which is guaranteed every month. There is no investment in the lead structuring, in the marketing, in building your network further in your city. and that is all done by Franchise India. So as I said, this lead structure, we give 50 investor-based leads. When we create a portfolio for our partner, wherein we give you fresh leads, wherein we run a fresh campaign for all those brands and give you fresh leads who are looking forward for that brand to take a franchise. And then we also help you to create a tri-party call, which we call the tri-party call would mean when we invite that investor to have a one-on-one meeting with that brand. Because until we don't do this meeting, deal will not happen. It's very, very easy. And we are lucky enough, we are fortunate, and we have a contract with all the brands that they have to come on the call to give complete information about that opportunity to the investor, make him satisfied, all the queries and questions. We are only in between making that happen. So if you are working with that brand, you have an investor, you call, they have applied, you just take the interest, send them a presentation, and then arrange a call. Wherein our team member would be also part of that call to make sure that we help and support you initially. And once you feel that I can do it myself, and then you can do it. But otherwise, there is a complete 100% support regionally and from the corporate office as well. E stands for events. As we discussed, we are an event company. There is a large event which is coming now in Delhi in the month of May, which is our 22 years we've been doing that. People know about it. Everybody knows about that show because it's a very, very large show where Franchise India is going to invest around 15 crore rupees and will invite around 40,000 plus investors in this show to attend that show. And the best part in our shows, small, big, all these shows or business meets, we do not allow anyone to enter free. It's absolutely a ticket. It's a 1,000 rupees a ticket value for the show to attend because it's an international level show. We have 650 plus companies who are participating in that in last 22 years. Now you can understand what kind of franchising will happen there, what kind of deals will happen there, and what Franchise India is going to do in this event. Every month, there are regional shows every month, which we are doing around 20 to 25 events. And now, since, as I said, we have international presence and we are doing events in all the countries across. January, we did in Bangladesh, Feb, we did in Abu Dhabi. Now we are going to Nepal. Then we have Kenya also coming up and many, many, many more countries as well. So in this also, our IFC partners do travel across. So from India, in my last Abu Dhabi show, there were 4 or 5 IFC partners who have traveled from India to Abu Dhabi, and they have got some brands also who have paid us, and they also went from India to be part of those shows because they are looking forward for local partners. That's how this all business will be happening. So there is no restriction of any territory. Our IFC partners sitting in Bangalore can travel to Hyderabad, and Hyderabad, we are witnessing another show, which is last 13 years, we've been doing that show, which is happening in Hyderabad High-Techs. If anyone is there, so we have the show on 16th and 17th for 2 days, and wherein we'll be having 10,000 plus investors who will be visiting that show again with a ticket of 1,000 rupees. So around 200 companies we are representing direct with some booths, plus Franchise India is also representing 1,000 brands at their booth any given point of time. T stands for training, as we were discussing that we will be having 3 days extensive training in our office, which is in Delhi corporate office. That's the first time, wherein you can get information about Franchise India, about background, about our portfolio, and across categories what we have built, and our vertical heads, CEOs, directors will be meeting everyone there and will be knowing also what all Franchise India does in the past and now what all the new categories we are also opening, what all international brands we have. All those would be also given to you in this extensive training of 3 days. And our chairman sir would be personally having first 2 days, and then third day we will also have category heads who will be talking about the business which we also are in. So what is the proposed structure of IFC? So as I said, Franchise India is growing. So now we are looking forward our partners also to grow with us. you join us as IFC, it is at base level. When you join at a base level, you are IFC at the entry point. So then we also have this growth ladder created only keeping in mind that every partner is unique. Someone is putting up more time, want to grow faster. There has to be something. Because our business, like others, we do also have ROI. As we discussed, it is return on involvement and return on intelligence. Return on involvement means if you are giving 5 hours a day, you have more chances to grow faster, to earn more. And because you want to set your earning potential that you want to have 2 lakh rupees a month, it is possible. You want to have 5 lakh rupees a month, it is possible. Anything you feel like, you have to be involved accordingly. Second is intelligence, because you also have this understanding that any investor you meet, you have to give them understanding. So we do trainings of those brands which you want to drive, and you can also be trained on that brand, and then further you will talk to your investor and you can give also the brief, because any investor, when he is onboarded with you, he pay you a consulting fee, would expect understanding and the complete information from you as a consultant. So that's how we have created a growth ladder. This growth ladder will give you an opportunity to grow faster, to grow to the next level, and you are increasing your position, and you are also increasing your payout system, which is attached to this. So when you join, you are on IFC basic level. And then if you are doing 50 deals, as we discussed, one side we are working with investors, other side we are working with brands, and what we do, we match make. So we do deals. So when you do 15 deals in a year, or you reach out to 15 lakh rupees revenue. Sometimes you do one deal and get 17, 18 lakh rupees revenue in one deal also. That will be your success fees, which is coming to Franchise India. Or there are other revenue products also, which we will discuss. If you are getting revenue 15 lakh rupees, whichever is coming earlier, you will hit IFC Elite position. So IFC Elite position is your second level. And third is IFC Pro when you hit 50 lakh rupees revenue or 30 deals, whichever is coming earlier. But the duration is 1 year. You can do it in 1 month, you can do it 3 months, you can do it 4 months. But we have partners joined who have done it in the second month itself. And one partner have done recently in the first month itself. And he was also going to other contests also, which I'll be discussing. There's a lot more opportunities which we have created for our partners. So you can achieve also those things. So when you're talking about the master, is when you hit 1 crore rupees business. So 1 crore rupees may take a year. It may take 1.5 years, depending on your involvement. So this is the proposed structure of an IFC partner, but how it is going to change your payout structure at each level, that is what next slide would talk about. So this is the payout structure. Now in this payout structure, as we discussed, at base level, you have IFC, then you will go to IFC Elite, you will go to IFC Pro and Master, and at base level, you are my 40% shareholder. You are 40% sharing with me. So revenue which will be done by you, 40% will go to you. At base level, 60% will go to Franchise India. 50% you will receive at Elite membership, which is the second, then 60% at Pro, and Master 70%. So please remember, at 40, 50, 60, 70, you do not have to invest even a single rupee also on the marketing, lead generation, events, or any kind of promotional activities. All will be done by Franchise India. Your share of 40% will go absolutely to your kitty, but there are some product-wise businesses. So revenue products I'll talk about. As we discuss, we have investors one hand, we have brands on the other hand. So wherever you see I, this is investor. You see B, B stands for brands. So IA and IS is coming from our investor side, because we work with investors, we onboard them first. As a consulting company, advisory company, we all are advisors. We do not work for free because our product is time. We do not work for free. So when we are working with investors to help and guide, to structure a deal after having a requirement from each investor, we take investors on board. If there is a reference, any business, any brand looking forward for expansions, they would want to work with Franchise India, we onboard them. We onboard both. When we onboard an investor, that becomes investor acquisition. That's the registration process, investor acquisition. It is as low as 25,000 rupees, which we charge. And then we start servicing that investor and we start finding a right match. Once it is done, that means service is done, we take investor service fees from the investor. That service fees will also be paid by the investor. And brand, when we are servicing a brand which is onboarded with us, any brand which is in the list, or it can be any brand which is international or domestic, we also get brand service fees. So brand will also pay us a fee. As we discussed, that will be paid from investor side also, will be paid from the brand side also. B stands for brands, as I said. So BD would mean business development, would mean brand onboarding. So when you are doing brand onboarding, in this case, you will get 20% of our upfront fees, engagement fee, which we charge for a brand or business to come on board. Why it is 20%? It is not getting into 30, 40, 60. It is getting only 20% in each case, because in each case, you have to only give us a reference, no service from your side, no proposal sharing, no follow-up, all done by our team, and all the readiness for that business, because we get them ready for franchise. There are a lot of documentation which we do is done by our FranCorp team. So yours will be 20% for sharing a lead and reference. That's it. But when we do calls, when we do meetings with that business, you will be 100% part of that Zoom call, direct meeting, face-to-face meeting, and or a call, so that you will be knowing what is happening. And our formats for brand onboarding are also fixed. That is 7.5 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 40 lakhs, and 75 lakhs. So these are 4 formats which we have. So if you are doing 2 transactions of this in a month, wherein you are giving only reference, that too was a basic, which is 7.5 lakh on boards, which is getting closed by us, you will get 20%. Would mean if you are doing 15 lakh rupees in this area, which is onboarding fees for 2 brands with basic, you get 3 lakh rupees directly. That's 20%. But there is no restriction. You will do 2, you will do 3. You can continue doing this 4, 5, 6 as you like. So all these would be done by Franchise India support, and we'll take on board, and some are getting closer for 15 lakh rupees also, and 40 lakh also, which we are doing on daily basis. This is our business, because if I are talking about we have 1100 brands onboarded, these all brands are also being onboarded by someone, wherein Franchise India team and IFC partners both have got access to do this business. Now, if I can give example how we can calculate just for your reference. So we work with investors. We will give you 50 investor leads to start with. And then in any given point of time, we'll be having around 300, 400 investor database in your CRM. Because we have a formula, which is 330, 300 formula. At any given point of time, you have 3 brands every month to focus. You have 30 brands in your portfolio at the back end, wherein you are trained. And you have 300 inquiries or leads in your CRM. That's a formula. But we'll give you more understanding on this in the training program when you come, and this will be all done by our teams. So if you can set an example that you are working every month with investors for onboarding them, because we have to handhold, we have to service, and we have to get a right match for them. So what we do, if we talk about 10 investors we take on board, and as low as 25,000 rupees from each investor, because our investor registration or investor acquisition also depends on the investment from the investor. So if we talk about the first category, which is up to 20 lakh, anything, anywhere you are interested to have up to 20 lakh rupees investment, we have 25,000 rupees as a IA fee, which is investor acquisition fee. And then if it goes to 20 lakh to next 50 lakh, we have 40,000 rupees as IA fees. Then it goes to next level, which is 50 lakh to 1 CR, 1 CR to 2 CR, and 2 CR and above. We charge around 1.5 lakh to 2 lakh rupees also as investor acquisition, investor onboarding. But we'll not talk about these high tickets. We're talking about the basic, which is just 25,000 rupees as investor acquisition. So if you have 10 investor acquisition in a month, what you get is 25,000 into 10, 2.5. Very simple calculation. Out of that 2.5 lakh rupees, your share is 40,000 rupees, 40%. Now 40% of 2.5 lakh, 1 lakh rupees will be given your payout. But payout is not about you do one transaction and you will receive immediate. We are a corporate, we are a complete professional company. We work in a month. We have a business month. Every month we have closing from first of the month till last day of the month. We do complete business analysis, and what we have done in a month, we share a report with accounts and finance, and they will get it completely consolidated. And then there is a credit note, which is next month, first week itself, you will get a credit note. By 10th of next month, our payout date is already structured. So it will be done in the next month, first week will be given your payouts. Now, when I said 2.5 lakh, and each investor is now already on board and they will be looking forward for getting a franchise through you. We start servicing. There can be one deal in 15 days, one deal in 1 month, one deal in 3 months, 4 months. But the surety and the guarantee is that this investor who have registered with you will get a franchise through you because he has paid, he's registered with us, is a sure shot deal. That's very, very important. That's why we don't work for free, because investor who is taking your service for a month, 2 months, 3 months, after that there is no guarantee. So that's why we don't work free. We charge to get onboarded, and then it's a sure shot deal will happen. So business will be already booked in your name because these 10 investors would get franchisee through you, would mean they will pay you investor servicing fee also. So investor servicing fees in the case of 25,000 is 50,000 rupees as IS fee. So 50,000 into 10 becomes 5 lakh rupees, and you get 40% again on this product, which is 2 lakh rupees out of 5 lakh will go to you. 3 lakh rupees will go to Franchise India, that's 60%. At the same time, these investors who have been serviced by you collectively with Franchise India team, the brands which they have already signed, it can be different brands, it can be one deal, one brand, multiple deals, that's also possible, but it can be multiple brands also. But brands which are onboarded with us, we have an agreement, we have a contract with them. So I'm giving you complete understanding on this slide because this is very, very important for you. This is the complete understanding towards what is your payout structure and how it is going to be created for you. So brands which you are selling to these investors, each brand will pay us a service fees. Now, this service fees, when we do onboarding of the brand, we fix it, and it is also mentioned in the agreement so that later on there is no confusion and there is no dispute. It is 100% written in the agreement with the brand that there can be 35 to 40% of the franchise fees what they are offering, or it can be a fixed component as low as 1 lakh. It goes to 2 lakh, 3 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, but it goes up to 30, 40 and some 50 lakhs also in one transaction. Now, when we are talking about 1 lakh, this is in some cases wherein the opportunity becomes very, very low. It's around 8-10 lakh rupees a business. They are having 1 lakh rupees success fees with Franchise India, but we don't work less than 1 lakh. So then in other cases, normally we have 2.5 to 3 lakh rupees in these unit franchisees as a success fees, but some unit franchise wherein we have a 1 lakh rupees, which are very, very low cost. So if we are talking about average, we'll not go 1 lakh, we'll not go anything 2 lakh, 4 lakh, 5 lakh, 6 lakh also. We'll choose, let's have 2 lakh rupees each transaction. So these 10 which you have sold, 10 brands to these 10 investors will get you 2 lakh rupees each transaction from brand side. Let's assume that is a 2 lakh rupees Franchise India fee. So all these 20, it will 10 investors, it will become 20 lakh. So you will get 40% of this 20 lakh also. And 20 lakh, 40% becomes 8 lakh, would mean when you do 10 investors on board, you get 3 times business. One is 25 into 10, then 50 into 10, and then 2 lakh rupees into again 10. So this is all 40% or all 3 products will go to you. And when you do a brand onboarding, there is a separate 20% on the upfront fees which we charge. And there is no limitation of brand onboarding, or it can be multiple brands you can do onboarding, that also we help. From lead side, at initial stage, we'll give you 50 leads and then CRM 1 ID. At elite membership, same 40 will transfer into 50%, then 20% here, and then leads will go up, but there is no limit to the leads, to be very honest, because we are not giving only 50 leads. It is you who will decide how many leads you want, how many brands you want to drive. So leads is absolutely no bar in Franchise India, because every day there is some 30 to 40,000 investors getting in touch with Franchise India through multiple shows, multiple webinars, multiple marketing campaigns and digital campaigns. We have franchiseindia.com, which is our official website. We have 16,000 brands registered with us there. Lot of inquiries are coming from the investor side also on the daily basis. So at Pro membership, you will get 60% and 70%. But as I said, not even a single penny from your side as an investment towards getting all this. So this is one revenue for you. Second revenue is we are working with all brands which are onboarded. Today also, around 60 companies whom we drive have given us cash incentive. This cash incentive for selling a unit or a master, both ways, there is a fixed cash incentive also, and that is only for our IFC partners. And that is over and above this structure, but there is no cut, no commission, no incentive to be shared with Franchise India. That will be absolutely yours. And we have, in some cases, 8 lakh, 9 lakh, 10 lakh also for one transaction, direct cash incentive from the brand side. We also have third part, which are international contests. So we have every quarter one international contest for our partners that you have minimum some 15 lakh rupees revenue. But we have given them 3 months. If you have 15 lakh rupees revenue in 3 months, you can also qualify for our international contests, wherein most of our partners in the second month, third month only are qualifying because high ticket value, because of it's highly rewarding for each one of you. And that's collective. There is no product which is returned. It is collective business, collective revenue to Franchise India, not your payout I'm talking about. This is a Franchise India revenue, which is total collective out of any product, what you are selling. It can be one BD, one brand onboarding, giving you 15 lakh rupees that we will close. You are absolutely qualifying, and you are getting 20%, which is 3 lakh to you. And you are also getting then later on success fees from that brand, because you become the brand champion. You have got that brand on board. If you sell a franchise for that brand, it becomes again a revenue product for you, which is BS. Then you get 40% again. So that's how, if you choose to drive one particular brand, there are thousands of opportunities across which we have to create. Recently, if we're talking about Reliance, we have tied up with Reliance. Nobody knows, and Reliance have never franchised their fashion brand, which is Reliance Trends. So Franchise India have exclusive tie-up with Reliance Trends, wherein we are talking about the brand is Fashion Hub by Trends. It is backed by Reliance. That's absolutely on board with Franchise India exclusive. Exclusive would mean that any transaction whatsoever is happening, it is going to be counted through Franchise India. Now, if one person who want to drive Reliance Trends, we will give him leads, we'll give him brand, we'll give training, and we will also support to arrange those meetings with the brand to qualify, and then signing the documentation is also done by our team. So that is where an opportunity is 5,000 franchisees to open for one brand, which is Reliance Trends, in the next 5 to 6 years. This is a huge opportunity. And anybody who really looking forward for starting a fashion brand, Reliance can be one of the options. We have other brands also, but Reliance, when it is a brand, then they will choose the profiling of the investor who is there. So we have got a lot of people lined up. We have not yet launched it, but still there was an announcement. There is a PR which we have already done. A lot of people who have already shown that interest. So if you want to drive the particular brand in your city, you want to drive in multiple cities, we will give you all the data, all the leads accordingly. But now my last slide is how you can become partner with Franchise India. There is one fee, which is our uh, license fees, which is our onboarding fee, because there is always a brand fee which we charge. That's 4.5 lakh plus GST. It's only one time. Rest all through, there is all the investments, marketing, sport, everything done by Franchise India. There is no investment done by you. Entire 3 years is the agreement period, wherein you are only and only there, give your time, and we are supporting you to build it. So friends, thank you so much for being there. It is only up to 6, but we have taken a little more time today to give you understanding about the financial model or your payout structuring. But this is going to be helpful for each one of you to understand. And later on, once we have one-on-one meeting with all of you, you can ask your questions, and we will take you through the process wherein we have a selection call, which will be a Zoom call, direct meeting with our chairman. And that is how we want some partners who want to be part of Franchise India, and we will give you more understanding on that. So thank you very much for being there, and we will look forward to have discussions with each one of you. And in that regard, our regional heads will get in touch and set up the meeting, and then we'll take it up further. So vote of thanks from all of us at Franchise India